Hello, everyone. This is Independent Conservative. I am Ryan Bowling. Thank you all for joining me. What I want to talk about in this video is an article that I read, and I'm about to read to you guys on Newsweek here, that states that the city of Cleveland, the city that I was born and raised in, has become the #1 city in the state of Ohio that has the highest crime rate. In fact, the title of the article says that the city of Cleveland is the murder capital of Ohio. I'm going to get right into the juicy bits of this article. And let me explain something up front here. This article is more left-leaning, which means I don't read all conservative articles. Some of the articles I read are left-leaning because you got to know both sides, okay? But I'm going to say right up front, I don't agree with their reasoning behind why there's high crime and high murder rates in the city of Cleveland. I don't agree with that at all. But let's get right into this, okay? Yeah, it's a sad picture, but I'm not surprised. It says nestled on the shores of Lake Erie, Cleveland, with its population of 381,009, is renowned for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, a tribute to music legends. Despite its cultural allure, the city has long struggled with crime and violence. Based on the 2021 FBI crime statistics. Now, see, this is mentioned in FBI crime statistics. So it isn't something made up. I didn't make the numbers up. They're going to give the numbers, okay? Cleveland recorded the highest murder rate in Ohio at 35.5 murders per 100,000 residents. This surpassed other major cities like Cincinnati, Columbus, and Toledo. Alarmingly, Cleveland secured the 15th spot nationally for its murder rate, outpacing cities such as New Orleans, Philadelphia, and Atlanta. Moreover, Cleveland reported the highest robbery rate and the second highest aggravated assault rate in Ohio. Residents faced a 1 in 83 chance of being victims of violent crime in 2021. Additionally, the city recorded the third highest burglary rate and the fourth highest larceny rate in the state, equating to 1 in the 22 chance of falling victim to property crimes. Now, I want to read you this portion here because, like I said, this article is more left-leaning. And so this portion I'm going to read to you guys is their reasoning of why there's high crime and so forth in the city of Cleveland. This is their reasoning, okay? Several factors contribute to Cleveland's elevated crime rates, including poverty, unemployment, drug issues, gang activities, and limited educational opportunities. In 2019, Cleveland's poverty rate stood at 30.8%, more than double the national average, while the median household income was $29,628, less than half the national median. Unemployment rates in Cleveland, particularly in 2020, exceeded both the state and national averages. This economic disparity may lead some individuals to turn to crime as a means of survival or an outlet for frustration. Let's stop right there. Let's just stop right there. Right there. I can tell a left-leaning article from a conservative article from anywhere. Like people can, tell a conservative article from a left-leaning article, okay? But that's their reasoning. They say that the reason why there's such high crime in these cities and so forth, in the city of Cleveland, high crime rate, is because of unemployment and poverty, and people get frustrated and they take it out on society. I'm going to say this. That may be true this much. A small amount of individuals who are out here robbing, killing, stealing, cheating, and all the rest are doing it because they're frustrated that they don't have a job. They're frustrated that they missed an opportunity. Okay? They're frustrated that even if they do have a job, they don't make the money that they want to make. So they take it out on everybody else. They rob, they kill, they steal, they do whatever, okay? That may be a small fraction of people, but I don't believe at all that that's the reason. Let me show you the pattern here. In just about every Democrat-led city in the nation, forget about the state, in the nation, there's high crime. Higher for the most part than cities and states that are led by Republicans. Now, I'm not saying that the Republicans don't have this. They do. But let's be real. Let's stop playing games. Why is the crime rate so high in Democrat-led cities? And when I say Democrat-led cities, I'm talking about the mayors of those cities, the city council. Why is the crime rate so high? And I'll tell you why the crime rate is so high in Democrat-led cities. It's because Democrats, okay, especially the new breed of Democrats that came out of what was called the New Left in the 1960s counterculture revolution. A lot of crazy stuff happened during that time, y'all know. It's because their worldview is this. They believe that people commit crimes, people rape, people steal, people kill, whatever, because of poverty, missed opportunities, and oppression, okay? And it's their way of crying out in frustration. So because of this worldview held by this new left Democratic Party that came out of the 1960s, okay, which basically are actually many of them are either communists or socialist or communist or socialist sympathizers, they go easy on them when it comes time to punish them. So what you're seeing is that these criminals get arrested. Yeah, they get arrested. But because the mayors of the city, the Democratic mayors of the city, who hires or selects their staff, and their staff reflects their worldview, including the judges, then the judges who are basically progressive Democrats, the judges believing that, hey, reason why this person committed this crime was because of poverty, missed opportunities, and they're frustrated. What do? They give them less time or no time at all. Person's let back out on the streets, commits more crime. So what happens is you get a pattern. People who are criminal-minded take advantage of these weak, punked out sucker laws. That's why we have high crime. That's why there's a high crime rate in the city of Cleveland. Cleveland has had this issue for a long, long time. And mainly the reason for that is because every single time the residents of the city of Cleveland vote Democrats in. I don't even think the residents of the city of Cleveland even think about it. And God forbid if a Republican even thinks about trying to run in the city of Cleveland for mayor. Don't even think. That's why I've had people ask me and say, man, why don't you run for mayor? Man, get out of here. I wouldn't run for mayor for the city of Cleveland. My life depended on it. Because I don't have the patience to deal with all of the nonsense and the lack of knowledge and understanding that people tend to have. And when I say the lack of knowledge and understanding, I mean, we all lack knowledge. I don't know everything, obviously. But when the opportunity is there to learn and you refuse to do it, I have little patience for that. So I wouldn't want to be the mayor of the city of Cleveland and try to change things up because I cannot stand willful ignorance when on every single opportunity that you get, you resist learning more. You resist seeing the other side. You resist learning maybe there might be a little bit more to this than meets the eye. You just consistently resist that and you stay with this mindset, I'm just going to vote for this party here or whatever. I don't care. I don't have patience for that. So I wouldn't even dare want to run. And plus, I wouldn't want to run because if I ever got elected, I'd kick all these knuckleheads out. You wouldn't want me talking about authoritarian, I'd be. Because I get sick of the nonsense, man. No. It's the worldview of the Democrats, okay? They believe that these people that commit these crimes are crying out in frustration due to poverty and missed opportunities and all of this other stuff. So they crying out and they commit these crimes. So what happens is the liberal judges, the liberal staff create laws that reflect their worldview. And that worldview is a soft view on criminals. So the criminals, like I said, take advantage of that. And particularly those criminals who have a criminal mindset, take advantage of soft laws. So crime increases. The purpose of jail and prison is not reformation. The purpose of jail and prison is punishment. You're not supposed to have any rights per se when you go to jail and when you go to prison. But now things have been so created that we feel sorry for people that commit crimes. Oh, I feel so sorry. Now, I don't get me wrong. Now, I'm not speaking in a self-righteous way, but I'm just being realistic with you. We go easy. Well, because any of us can choose to commit crimes. But why haven't we? Even though a lot of us have dealt with poverty, even though a lot of us have dealt with missed opportunities, even though a lot of us have dealt with all kinds of bad, negative circumstances, why haven't we done it? I would say and argue that part of the reason for that isn't because we haven't been tempted to, it's because we don't want to go to jail. We don't want to have to suffer the consequences of such a boneheaded decision. So we refrain from being a criminal. We keep pushing, we keep trucking, we keep trying until we meet our goals. We persevere in the midst of frustration. We persevere in the midst of disappointments. We persevere in the midst of financial disappointments and poverty. We persevere. But people who have a criminal mindset, they're not trying to persevere. They take advantage of democratic policies like the city of Cleveland and other Democrat-led cities where they take advantage of those kind of laws. And so they continue to commit these kind of crimes because they know they're not going to do any time. Well, that's the reason why it's this way in the city of Cleveland. Look at our mayor. Same progressive Democrat. I kept telling people, they don't listen. Now, let me say this to a friend of mine who might be watching this video. Okay. And she's a female friend, and I wanted to know this. I understand that you may say that this is a spiritual situation, and it is. As a born-again Christian, I believe that it's spiritual, okay? However, people in government in the city of Cleveland and other places are not going to come to Jesus, per se. They're not going to do that. You can tell them to come to Jesus and repent and receive Jesus, your commercial savior, and all, but they don't see that as practical. So they're not going to do that. So the next best. So what do we do? What do we do about this? How can this change? Because it can be changed without these people becoming Christians. It can be changed for the better. God gave us 5 senses. He wants us to use them. It can be changed for the better. And I believe that the second best thing to do is for people collectively in the city of Cleveland and all over this country, particularly black people, stop voting for Democrats. Just telling you, blacks vote for Democrats on a 90% rate, at least. The Democrats know this, so they push, their campaigns always focus on things that low-income inner-city blacks want to hear. As long as you're getting your handouts, you cool. As long as you're getting all the handouts that they promise, you cool. The problem with that worldview for people who think that way is that you're going to have a hard time enjoying all the goodies, the Democrats that you voted for, that you put in. You're going to have a hard time enjoying them because you're going to always be looking over your shoulder, hoping that nobody robs you or try to stab you or shoot you to take it from you. I think the solution is our voting habits. And that's all. It's all of us. But mostly, to be real with you, mostly is with blacks, because we vote at a rate that is bigger than all the other ethnic groups in the city of Cleveland and all over the country. Because we've been duped, we've been tricked, we've been bamboozled, we've been led astray, we've been run amok, we've been lied to by the Democrats. And I think that the issue is changing our voting habits. Looking a little bit deeper into these campaign strategies that these Democrats use. Going past the rhetoric that they push to inflame our emotions. Because as black people, we very emotional. And it kills me when I hear a lot of black people say, well, we was smart and we was this and we was that back in Africa and back in Egypt and we was intelligent and the white people stole all of this from us. Okay. Then let's start ascertaining some of that intelligence. Let's start ascertaining it for the day. Let's start ascertaining some of that intellectualism from ancient Africa, from places like Kemet and all the rest, okay, where many of the great philosophers like Plato and Aristotle learned. Let's start assimilating that for ourselves and start thinking outside the box and stop being emotional when these Democrats get up here and spit the rhetoric and start using that intelligence that we supposedly had in Egypt and other areas of Africa. Let's start using it when we vote. I'm just saying, I know it sounds strong, but it is what it is. I think the answer on the first level is changing our voting habits. We change our voting habits and vote people in office that believe in law and order, then 9 times out of 10, it won't be perfect, but let's be realistic. 9 times out of 10, you will not have these high rates of crime in this city or any city in the nation. You just won't. You're going to have problems. You're still going to have crime. You're still going to have problems. But you're going to have less of it. Because we got to change our voting habits, in my opinion. Can't keep saying, hollering the same thing, talking about I'm sick and tired of this crime. We don't never have nothing. I hear brothers and sisters complain to me all the time at my job. You know, just recently somebody had a situation several days ago on my job, broke the window, supposedly assaulted an employee, broke the window in front of Tower City, threw food all over it. And I hear brothers coming to me saying, man, look, we ain't got nothing. You talking about black folks. Brother came to me and said, man, we can't keep nothing. I was like, you right, bro. We can't, my brother. We can't keep anything. But you want to know one of the reasons why? Is because of our voting habits and because we left the values that we once had prior to the 1960s. We left that. So there's two. Let me add, there's another answer to this. The black community needs to return to the values that they had back in the past, prior to the 60s. Prior to Lyndon Johnson's Great Society welfare program that he put in place, that I believe screwed up everything, but I'm not going to go into this another video. Okay? Yeah, we need to go back to those values. Valuing God, valuing education, valuing self-discipline. We need to go back to that because we once had it before the 60s. Now we lost it. We lost it because all the goodies were being given to us. So we felt we didn't need to do anything. Why do anything? The government's doing everything. But by doing that, we went back.